Okay.
Good to go?
And we're live.
Okay, thank you. Whenever you are ready.
Good evening. I'd like to call the meeting to order at,
6:04 PM.
thank you, 6:04. First, I'd like to read the land acknowledgement. We acknowledge that the town of Winnipeg Beach is located on First Nations Treaty 1 territory, the traditional territory and ancestral lands of the Anishinaabe, Cree, Oji-Cree, Dakota, and Dene people, and the homeland of the Red River Métis Nation. We respect the treaties made on these territories. We dedicate ourselves to move forward with Indigenous communities in a spirit of reconciliation and collaboration to make Manitoba an inclusive and accessible place for everyone who lives here. Before we move forward with the meeting of council, I would like to remind everyone in the gallery to refrain from conversations or other behaviors which may disrupt council proceedings. And I'll add, I'd appreciate if you would mute your phones. Thank you. On your agenda item number 4, approval of agenda. And be it resolved that the agenda for the August 12th, 2026 regular meeting of council be approved with the following additions. We have 2 additions: dance therapy program and personnel in camera. And we'll open with the move to question. Okay, we need a mover for that, please. Christine. And seconder? Linda, thank you. Be it resolved that the agenda for the first, I'll read it again. Be it resolved that the agenda for the August 12th, 2026 regular meeting of council be approved with the following additions: dance therapy and program and personnel and camera. And we'll vote on that, please. All in favor? All opposed? Carried. Next resolution. Confirmation of minutes, agenda item number 5. Be it hereby resolved that the minutes of the July 8th, 2026 regular meeting and July 21st, 2026 regular meeting be approved as circulated. And we need a mover. And Kim. Councillor Trubisky, sorry. Seconded by Councillor McCann. All in favor? Discussion, sorry. Discussion?
Yes.
Go ahead. Councillor Sokolow.
Thank you. This is my first time going through the information here, and I just wanted to have a quick peek, and I noticed a discrepancy between a couple of the months. So from June 24th to July 8th, the checks, there were sequence numbers that were out by, bear with me for 1 second here. The June 24th check sequence number ended in 8-5 or 6, sorry, it's a little small. And it started with the next one on July 8th. The check sequence number is 2598. So there was a difference of 3.
Yeah.
But the main one that I'm concerned about is just from July 8th, the EFT sequence number goes from 26393, and July 21st, it starts at 26371, which is lower.
Okay.
So I just think there's maybe just a
Okay, I'll
discrepancy.
turn that over to the CAO Mitchell for addressing.
Absolutely. Thank you for bringing that forward, Councillor Sokolov. Upon review, it looks like what had happened was the checklisting report had been exported from our system, and then we had processed pay for staff, so it just got missed. So what we'll do is we'll amend that issue, and then going forward, we'll be double checking those numbers going forward with reporting. So thank you for bringing that forward.
Councillor Sokolow, does that answer your inquiry?
Yes, thank you.
Okay, thank you. And any other discussion before we vote?
Sorry, the other one, the 3 checks.
Oh, yes, thank you. Okay, that one. That one, it appears that there was, one canceled check that did not get included in the reporting, which threw the sequence off for the one. The other two, our software system seems to have missed. We're looking into why that happened, but there was no checks issued for those 2 numbers that were missed.
Thank you.
Any further discussion? Okay, call to question, all in favor? Opposed? Carried? Next up, we on the agenda item is 6.1, 6 PM. We have a delegation, Friends of Winnipeg Beach. And this is resolution number 2026. We haven't filled it out yet. And Mr. Chorney, are you ready to address council? And you'll be addressing me, and if you have any questions, I can hopefully answer them. And if the members of council have questions, they'll address them to me and I'll readdress them to you. So you'll be conferring back and forth with me. Okay, go ahead.
So thanks for the opportunity.
You have 10 minutes for discussion, and then we have another 5 minutes, so you're allotted 15 minutes max. Okay.
So I'm here to talk about indoor walking track at the community center. And the thinking for this has come about from the meeting we had May 30th. There were a dozen people there. And we came up with some different ideas, looking at some of the problems and how we can implement this. And this idea's been around a few times. The difference this time is that in the previous ones, the idea was, well, let's get rid of the ice and the track and make this better. This time we're saying, how can we do this with the existing rink and make it something that enhances the community center and the tracks we to it. So one of the problems, the idea is to have a circular walking track around the ring. And one of the problems is on the east side, there's no space there. So we looked at, I guess, the least expensive solution is to put down some plywood or some rubber matting in the area that the walk-ins may be to a complete sense. There is a more sophisticated, fancier way of doing it, which would be a mezzanine, separating the track from the rink. But I don't think we're ready for that right now. So we want to start with something just instead of this. So there's a number of questions that came up as ways of moving forward. The first one is, what are the actual costs? How much do we need of sheets of plywood or rubber matting? And there's also a question of doing bleachers on the west side of the building. So we need to look at that. The other thing is, would there be any effects on the ice surface by doing this? So when is the rink available, or when is the walking track available for use? How does the recreation department and public works, how do they fit into this? Are they responsible for putting down the track, taking it up again? Or if not, who is responsible? Ongoing maintenance, can be responsible. Liability issues, would there be some additional liability beyond what the town already is? Finally, the role of volunteers. I think there'd be interesting people volunteering to help out with this. it's not clear how we're. So we'd like to move forward by answering these kind of questions. And if we do so, we can create a walking track, enhancing the community center, enhancing the town, and also the place for people in the town who want to walk to really appreciate. That's where we're at. Thank you so much. And if you have any questions, I'm happy to.
Yes, council, questions? Councilor McCann.
So I did some research on this. I did meet with, CAO Mitchell, and we did have a conversation. We know that, for instance, the insurance would be covered by what the town has already for insurance. I looked to Canadian companies for rubber arena mats. So what we need is, it's not necessarily rubber, it's a specialized tread. And it's interlocking tiles that don't like pop up, so you don't get you don't get the ledge that can trip people. And they have to be insulated so that it doesn't affect the ice. If we're gonna be walking in there, it's gonna be cold because we have to maintain the ice, which is something that CAO Mitchell and I had discussed. But it's better than being in -30. So we figure people probably wouldn't be that concerned about it being colder in there with the ice. So Mayor Kaloff, in order to do something like that, there are two major Canadian suppliers. I've actually got calls out to both of them, so I will, after hearing you're coming today, I will renew that call back to them and try and get a hold of them again. What we probably want is, it's a composite event mat. They're heavy duty. Prairie Ground Solutions uses them for ice full cover conversions. However, those ones are like $18 to $45 per square meter. Now, better is, just a minute, where did it go here? Give me a second. Oh, here it is. The rubber arena mats that are most common in Canadian arenas are durable skate resistant mats used around rinks. They can be used as temporary flooring. They are not a heavy composite mat, but they are typically used to fully cover ice for various types of events. And they do not wreck the ice, they do protect the ice. And the pricing on those is $4 to $6 per square foot. So if you're talking about just that one area, for instance, that's not a very big area to cover, or are we gonna talk about doing, to make it safer, because I'm thinking with the bleachers and everything else, and can we maybe look at doing a full round and seeing what that kind of cost would be? Not to do the whole arena, although if we did the whole arena, you could do pickleball and stuff like that indoors, just saying. But if we did like a round, so it's a track, an actual track, and they come in and they teach, this company's in Edmonton, and they come in and they actually would teach us how to lay it down and how to pick it up and how to store it so that we can do it ourselves, and it's supposed to be fairly simple to do as well.
Did you find out anything about the weight, like of each individual, the pieces, the size they come in? What I'm getting at here is would it be feasible for a member of the public or some volunteers to lay it down and remove it? Or are we looking at town employees for that?
I think it can be either. Now, I'm just looking to see just a second. It is not, I do not have the weight. I can get the weight though.
Mhm.
I'll put that into my notes to do so.
Councillor Campbell.
Thank you. I would just like to say that this is a great idea, by the way. I think it's, we need more financial structure reports before we can go into this. I think your research is good, thank you. But I think for the community, it would be, you need to find out the structure of the building, what's feasible in there, what can go around, what can be part of it. And I think it would be great for the community. And if we could look for grants, maybe tied to the disabilities, to the elderly and so on and so forth, I think that we could go forward with this, because there's not many places to walk except around the winter here at the beach. So I think this would be great they have excellent walking tracks in the city,
Mhm.
which we could probably get some information from to help, the people here
Mhm.
restructure this, so I'm all for this, but we just have to get more structured financials on this, okay?
Councillor Sokolow.
I also think it's a great idea, the safe winter walking services, or just in general, for seniors and for everybody. And promotes daily health, there's building community connections, and it opens potential for like step count challenges or group events, there's all kinds of stuff. And it can attract visitors from nearby towns too, just people wanting to participate. But questions I have are, Mr. Mayor, what are the current like building hour, like the community hours at this time?
Mhm.
And would the walking track use those same hours? What are the extra costs to keep it open longer if we want to? Should we charge a small fee to pay for any of this or not? And just thinking about like cleaning and upkeep and what you had meant, what was mentioned with the, who would lay the stuff down or
I
not.
think there was liability issues, if I'm
Yeah.
not mistaken. Mr. Chorney, I was at that meeting and I think it was brought up that there would be liability issues possible, that the town employees would have to lay it down and remove it and install it. Do you recall
I'm not
that?
sure of that.
Okay. Councilman Cam, do you recall that?
Yes, the question was whether or not volunteers versus staff would have to do
Mhm.
so. They're 3 to 9 pounds per, interlocking, I'm gonna call it a brick,
Yeah.
rubber mat, right?
Yeah.
And it depends on the thickness that we choose. We can go with whatever they recommend for the minimum thickness for what we're doing. Like, it always depends on, are you having a big event where there's gonna be heavy machinery?
Mhm.
No, this is about walking around the track, right?
Right.
So that's gonna change how much the weight is, but it's between the, what did I just say, I lost it here, 4 to 9 pounds
Yeah.
per brick. So technically, I don't see any issue for why we couldn't have volunteers do it. But I do think it would be a better and safer venue to have our staff doing it.
Any other questions? Off the top of my head, I would want to hear from our ice maker and see his or her opinion on what this could possibly do to the quality of the ice. I'm not sure how many people know, but one sec. We are getting a AAA 17-year-old hockey team here.
Yes, we know.
And I would think that the quality of the ice would want to be top-notch if we're having a top-notch team here, or for any use. So I would think we would want to consult our ice keeper, whoever that will be. And I would want to have a complete cost of this going forward. And then we have to discuss how it's going to be funded. Did you have a question?
Yeah, I was going to say that they, like I said, the weight of them depends entirely on what it is we're looking to
Right,
do with them.
right.
But the other part of that would be, they do guarantee that they do not wreck the ice. These are specifically for ensuring that the ice,
Mhm.
they use them in the NHL, they use them all over the place,
Mhm.
yeah.
Councillor Campbell.
I just want to say that I think there has to be more discussions, more research done on this.
Mhm.
And the financial's a big thing, the structure of the building, so this can be brought up again once all this information. I also think we could get some advice from the Winnipeg for other people that have created some of these walkways
Other
with these
arenas
mats.
possibly.
That's
using
right,
it.
I think that's what we'll do because, or suggesting to do
Mhm.
so. Let's put that in our
Okay.
notes.
CEO Mitchell, any suggestions?
At this point, I would recommend council, table for further discussion, pending further information, just so that council has all the information, at this time. Mr. Cherney, if you have any data on what kind of usage we would have, at the facility, just based on conversations, that would help us also just with our data gathering.
Yeah, there is one town that has an indoor track they actually built from scratch. They did some studies on what the demand is. And the fact is, there's nothing like this north of us and I think in Sandy Hook, so it could also be a draw.
Yeah, that would be great information. We'll be in touch after the meeting.
So I suggest we table this motion, or this resolution, sorry, and we'll go from there and keep you informed. Okay. Thank you for your time. We appreciate it. And anything that will help out the town, we will always listen. Agenda item number 7.1, accounts payable approval. Be it hereby resolved, the council approves the accounts payable listing as follows. Checks number 26066 to 26110. EFT 26428 to 26461. This approval includes checks, electronic payments, and payroll issued in the amount of $165,017.86 as circulated. Mover. Well, discussion first. Do we need a discussion for this?
Mover, seconder, then
Second.
discussion.
Got it. I'll get it. Take a while.
Yep.
Mover, Councillor Campbell. Seconder, Councillor McCann. Discussion.
I'd like to just open this council, with the realization of how the report was being pulled. We did notice that there was one additional EFT, so the resolution is now 26428. It was 26429. And then while we were reviewing payables, we noticed that one of the checks that we had issued had another vendor of a very similar name on it, so we broke it out. So the final check number is 26110 compared to 26098.
Okay, any questions? Discussion? No? Call the question, vote. All in favor of the accounts payable approval? All in favor? Opposed? Carried? Agenda item 7.2, financial statements, July 31st, 2026. Be it hereby resolved that council approved the July 31st, 2026 financial statement as presented. Mover for that, please. Councillor McCann. Seconder. Councillor Campbell. Discussion. Councillor Trombinski.
CEO Mitchell, could you clarify a little bit more under the heading other protective services where we have our RCMP contract and then we have a coordinator? Who is that coordinator and what are we paying them for?
Okay, so the coordinator title stands for Municipal Emergency Coordinator, or our MEC.
Okay.
They look after our community in the event of an emergency. So for example, our June heavy rains event, they looked after all the reporting of that as well as other standard reporting to the province.
So with that being related to the flooding, will we have an opportunity to claim some of that back?
That is the hope. Any additional expenses above and beyond, hopefully will be covered through DFA.
Thank you.
Councillor Sokolow.
Would you be able to clarify why the employer contributions are showing in a negative or just not, they're very low? I'm just wondering if there's an issue with how the employer contributions are displayed.
Over to CAO Mitchell.
Yeah, thank you. So with our software right now, employer contributions are getting lumped in under wages. We are in the process, or we will be in the process of removing that out, but at this point, all of that is lumped under wages for each department.
Thank you.
Any other questions? Call to question, vote. All in favor of resolution? Councillor Trombinski.
Just-
Go ahead.
With regards to the diesel line, we were quite over what we budgeted. Did you have comment to that?
Yes, so during the budgeting process, there was a typo. It should have been 15,000, not 1,500. Last year, we spent around $12,000 in diesel, and, with the heavy snow and late spring that we had this year, we were trying to project an 18% increase, but that, error happened.
Are we fixing the budget number then, or adjusting it?
The budget was approved in May, so I cannot make any adjustments at this point.
Are we going to make a, like, are we going to account for the overspend?
So I've spoken to the manager already to see if there's any other areas where we don't need to spend the full budgeted amount, and they will be making adjustments.
Okay.
Any additional questions? Discussion? All right, call to question, all in favor? Opposed? Carried? Agenda item 8.1, procedures bylaw review. Whereas section 4.1 of the Town of Winnipeg Beach procedure bylaw states, council must at its inaugural meeting review the procedures and organizational bylaw. Therefore, be it resolved that council has completed the review of the procedures bylaw. Mover for that, please. Councillor Sokoluk, seconder. Councillor McCann. Discussion. No discussion? Call to question. All in favor? All opposed? Carried. Agenda item 8.2, organizational bylaw review. Whereas section 4.1 of the Town of Winnipeg Beach Procedures bylaw states, council must at its inaugural meeting review the procedures and organizational bylaw. Therefore, be it resolved that council has completed the review of the organizational bylaw. And be it further resolved that Schedule A, committee appointments to the bylaw, be hereby amended as follows. So, I want to describe what we're going to be doing.
So this will be to fill all the positions on the standing committees of council and the external committee boards. But first, we'll get a mover and a seconder to bring it to table.
Okay. Mover, please. Councillor Campbell. Seconder, Councillor Trombinski. Any discussion before we start this?
Regarding the committees,
Well, yeah, we'll get to that in a second. Any particular questions about what we're doing? Okay. We've got a list of 5 standing committees of council. I'll read them off. We have Public Works, Transportation and Utilities, Recreation, Public Safety, Development, and Finance and Personnel. So we have 5 members of council, and we have 5 standing committees, so it would work out very well for a chairperson, one of us being a chairperson for each of these, and a secondary backup called the member. You've got this chart in front of you right now. So, I guess I'd look for volunteers for each committee. Is it appropriate that I go first?
Do you want to just read off the first committee
Yeah,
and then
the first committee is Public Works, Transportation and Utilities.
who's interested in being the
Yeah.
chair for that one?
I'm interested too.
You can do that one if you want. I've got 3 I'm interested in, so.
Yeah, okay. Okay, I will take that one.
Okay, so. And then,
The member.
the
The
member,
member, all right, anybody interested besides Councillor McCann being a member of the Public Works, Transportation and Utilities? Okay, that would be Councillor McCann. Next one is Recreation. Who would be interested in being the chair of Recreation? We have 2 people. How are we going to solve this?
go ahead.
Roll the dice? Heads or tails?
Well, no, you can be. I'll step back if you want, if, yeah.
Okay, sure, thank you.
Okay, you're both okay with that?
Yeah.
Okay, Counselor Sokoluk, Chair of Recreation. And Counselor Campbell, would you want to be the member on that?
Yes,
Okay. Anybody else interested in being the member of that?
I wouldn't mind, but can there be more than?
Yeah.
Can we have more than one member of each standing committee? In other words, 3 instead of 2?
If it helps, I have other interests, so if you guys would like to take that, I could go on to another one, I'm fine with that. So if you guys are.
As do I.
Okay, you want to withdraw then from your, from being the Chair of Recreation, Counselor
Sure.
Sokoluk?
I'll give an opportunity for the other.
Okay, and now we're gonna go back to the chair for, okay, Counselor Campbell? Would you wanna be chair of the Recreation Committee? Or member?
member.
Would you wanna be Counselor Trombinski?
I guess by default.
I guess I have one question for you. Would you feel your strength would be in recreation or finance and personnel? Is that my
My
question?
strength would be finance.
Would you prefer to be on the finance committee
Yes.
then? Okay.
And I confirmed with the bylaw, it is just 2 members of
Just 2.
council on this committee,
Okay.
on these committees.
Okay.
I can go back to the recreation if Linda, or Counselor Campbell is.
Well, I also want to go into public safety, so I don't,
Okay, well, we can jump to that. I mean, we can fix this up after. You'd rather be chair of public safety?
yes.
Is anybody else interested in chair of public safety? Counselor Campbell, it's yours.
Well, thank you.
My pleasure. All
I can
right.
go back to recreation if that works.
Okay, so Counselor Sokoluk, you still want to be chair of recreation? Okay, and the member, and that would be the member, still Counselor Trombinski for the member of recreation? You okay with that? Okay. Now, we need a member for public safety. Counselor Campbell's gonna be the chair, but Counselor McCann, anybody else interested in that? Okay. I will take then, no, okay,
You're not done.
no, we say, well, we're not done yet, we'll leave that for now. Okay, so, Counselor McCann, member, is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. Development. Okay,
Hey.
wait a minute. Counselor Trombinski, I thought you wanted to be chair of finance. Do you want to be, you mentioned finance.
Yeah, sorry,
Do you want to also be chair of?
No.
Okay, development,
sorry,
okay.
getting a little.
No, it's
ahead
okay,
of myself.
okay.
Getting
okay,
excited.
Okay, we'll take our time on this one. So back to development. Counselor McCann,
Yes, please.
chair, okay. And member for, okay. You're already a member of recreation. Do you want to be,
No, Counselor Campbell is.
okay, that's
Chair.
okay, my mistake. Okay, I didn't correct that. Okay, so that's
Chair.
Counselor Campbell.
Yes.
I just want to confirm that with CAO Mitchell. For recreation, we have the chair Sokoluk and a member Campbell, is that correct?
Yes, correct.
And for safety, we have the chair Campbell and the member McCann. Development, we have the chair McCann, and now we want the member for development. Okay. And chair of finance and personnel, that would be Trombinski, and I'm left, well, I don't know, hold on here.
Oh, yeah,
I'm not a member of anything yet.
your public works. But you're not
I'm
member
chair,
either. Oh, I
I'm
see.
chair, but I'm not a member of anything.
Myself as well.
Okay.
Development.
Just a minute. Let me match it up here.
Confusing.
Okay, Campbell, Karen, Trombinski, Kazloff, Sokoluk, Campbell, Karen, Trombinski. So. Here. Sure. Okay, okay, good. Okay. Counselor Sokoloff, would you want to be member of Finance and Personnel? Okay, we've got it. We've got our 10. All right, now we're going to run through the external committees and boards. Age-friendly no longer active, it says on my sheet, is that,
You don't have to go through the descriptions.
don't have to?
I'll just point somebody to it and
Not right now.
go in depth of what the
But right
organization
now.
is. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
But we have, it says no longer active, so should I just skip that one? That age-friendly,
Should be.
just in case?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, volunteers for, we need 2 representatives for age-friendly.
I will be.
Okay, Campbell. And we need 2 for each.
Depending on the board, some require 2 representations. Typically, the second representative is either a backup, for the first. So,
Okay, I'll take that. Let's back up.
Good.
Okay. Community Futures East Interlake. 2 representatives for that.
I'll take it.
I assume you guys all have your
Yeah.
description of each one, so you know what we're talking about. Because I'm not gonna read through the description of each one. Okay, who said they would take that? Community Futures?
Councilor Trump.
Councilor Trumbinski, okay. And backup for that, the representative,
We have nobody else.
I didn't get, sorry.
okay. Okay, Councilor Sokoloff. Eastern Interlake Handy Van. Trumbinski.
I'm interested in that.
Backup, okay. Counselor Sokoloff, backup for that. EIPD, I for sure have to take that one. It's a big,
I'll be a backup.
okay. Ken. EIWD. Ken. And I'll take it if you don't, it's up to you. You want it? Okay. Trumbinski back up on EIWD. Emergency measures. I'll take it. Backup.
Okay.
Trumbinski, okay, thank you. EBN, Evergreen Basic Needs. Sokoloff, thank you. Backup, Campbell, Councilor Campbell, thank you. Gimli Seniors Resource. Councilor Sokoloff, thank you. Second representative backup on that, Gimli Seniors Resource. Councilor Trumbinski, thank you. Historical Society Committee, oh, I like that one. I beat you to it.
That's okay, I can be backup on that. Highly interesting.
And back up, Councilor McCann, thank you. IERHA, Winnipeg Beach appointee. Got 2.
It says mayor and deputy appointed.
Oh, that's
I
right.
believe it is, yes.
Yep.
That's correct. Yes. So mayor, and we'll get to deputy appointee, I think that's next, is it not? on the
Yeah, we
list?
can leave that.
Okay, so put my name down first, and we'll get back to that, that's an automatic.
Yeah, you can just put deputy beside it. That works
Okay,
just fine.
thank you. Interlake Municipal Rec Association, IMRA. Councilor Sokoloff, thank you. And back up for the IMRA, the Rec Association. Councilor Trumbinski, thank you. Interlake Tourism Association.
Another one.
Councillor McCann, you got it. And anybody interested in backup?
Okay.
Well, I'll take it, sure, take it. That's me for backup. Interlake Women's Resource Center,
I'm already on it,
uh,
as the treasurer.
is there any conflict of interest for you?
There's not,
Would you like to take the lead on it then?
I have to tell you this anyway, so.
Okay, Councillor Trombinski, thank you. And backup,
Linda.
Councillor Campbell, thank you. Red River Basin, Councillor,
I'm trying to be fast now.
yeah,
work.
I'm just looking at Interlake Red River Basin here. I'll take the backup on that. Okay. I like stuff related to water.
Anything
Very
that's,
important.
environmental.
Yeah, yeah. Selkirk Weed Board, now this is not marijuana. Just so you know.
Why are you looking at me?
I don't know, that's the first thing that came to mind, was Selkirk Weed Board. I've got no interest in weed, but I'll go on the board. Take Selkirk Weed Board.
Sure.
And backup for the weed board. Nobody? So we have no backup?
Sure, if there's no one interested. Is there anyone who could potentially, I know you'll probably be at all meetings.
What is it?
This is Selkirk Weed Board. Board presentation meetings are held quarterly in the evening, approximately 1 to 2 hours. I have no idea what it is.
They do spraying for noxious
Noxious.
weeds in our
Oh, no.
area. Should we need.
You know what, I'll
bylaw
do that.
enforcement
Yeah,
for
okay.
grass cutting?
Just as I thought about
Yeah.
that, yeah, okay, yeah, go ahead, Kim.
Councillor Trombinski,
You
thank
bet.
you. Winnipeg Beach Legion Liaison, sorry. Winnipeg Beach Legion Liaison.
I could do that.
Councillor Campbell, thank you. And backup for the Legion Liaison, Councillor Sokoloff, thank you. Winnipeg Beach Harbor Authority, you like that one? It's got water, so I'll be the backup on that. Kaloff, okay. Winnipeg Beach Curling Club, Councillor Sokoloff, thank you. Backup for the Curling Club, Councillor Trombinski, thank you. Citizens on Patrol, COPP. West Shore COPP.
I'll do it.
It says community representation, non-active organization. Do we still want somebody then on that? Okay.
Should it
Okay,
become active
okay.
again, it would be good
Okay.
to have a.
Councillor McCann. And backup for Citizens on Patrol, I'll take that. Councillor Kaloff, and I think that's it, that's the end of that list. Awesome. Okay, agenda item 10.1, Deputy Mayor of, oh, sorry, yes, of course.
No worries, that was a big resolution.
Yeah, that was a huge one, yes, I'm sorry. Okay, we've got that, and
Just vote.
yeah, just vote. Call to question then. All in favor of the resolution for these appointments? Opposed? Carried. I'm so excited there. Vote for it. Agenda item 10.1, Deputy Mayor Appointment Resolution. Whereas the general municipal election was held on July 24th, 2026, and whereas in accordance with the Town of Winnipeg Beach Organization Bylaw, Council must consider the recommendation of the mayor and must be by resolution appoint a councillor as deputy mayor. Therefore, be it resolved that council appoints Councillor Trombinski, to serve as deputy mayor for the Town of Winnipeg Beach. That's who I recommend to be the deputy mayor. Mover. Councillor McCann, thank you. Seconder. Councillor Sokoloff. Discussion, if any?
I think having someone with that financial
Hmm.
capabilities is a smart idea.
Okay.
Okay, off.
Okay, thank you.
Good choice.
Okay. Any other discussion? Okay, call to question, all in favor? Opposed? You didn't vote?
She did.
Did you? Oh,
Yes, I
I'm
did.
sorry, I didn't see your hand up. Okay,
Mhm.
okay, carried. Congratulations,
Thank you.
Counselor. Now you Deputy Mayor Trombinsky. Congratulations. Ten point two, Board of Revision Appointment. Be it resolved that council appoint the following members to the 2026 Board of Revision. Myself, Mayor Terry Kaloff as chairperson, Councillor Christine Sokoluk as board member, Councillor Kim Trombinsky as board member, Councillor Linda Campbell as board member, Councillor Andrea McCann as board member, and Jody Mitchell as secretary. Mover. Councillor McCann. Seconder, Deputy Mayor Trombinsky. Discussion. Okay. Call to question, all in favor? Opposed? Carried. Resolution, agenda item 10.3, signing authority. Be it resolved that Mayor Terry Kaloff and Deputy Mayor Kim Trombinsky be appointed as signing authority for the town of Winnipeg Beach accounts with the Access Credit Union, and be it further resolved that Randy Salamanowitz be removed from signing authority. She was our municipal administrator from the previous council. Mover. Councillor Trombinsky.
Oh.
Sorry. Should I be calling Councillor Trombinsky Deputy Mayor going forward, Trombinsky, and not Councillor anymore?
Yes.
Excellent. So moved by Deputy Mayor Trombinsky, seconder, Councillor Sokoluk. Any discussion, questions? Call to question, all in favor? Opposed? Carried. Agenda item 10.4, surplus fire trucks auction results. Whereas the town of Winnipeg Beach conducted the disposal of the 1979 International Tanker and 1992 Ford F-800 pumper in accordance with the town's procurement policy. And whereas the 1979 International Tanker was sold through public auction for $9,550 plus applicable GST, exceeding the reserve bid of $2,000. And whereas no bids were received for the 1992 Ford F-800 pumper, which will continue to be advertised through govdeals.ca, government surplus auction site until sold. Therefore, be it resolved that council approve surplus fire apparatus auction results report as presented. Mover. Councillor Sokoluk. Seconder, Deputy Mayor Trombinsky. Discussion. Councillor McCann.
I don't know what the norm is, Mayor Kayla, when it comes to, the auctions for these types of items. Notice that it was a $30,000 reserve bid on the F-800. What happens if we can't find a buyer for it? Does that happen, or?
I will turn that over to CAO Mitchell to answer.
Yeah, thank you. So we'll start at the 30,000 and then over increments of time as it progresses, should the sale not go through, we'll look at potentially reducing it, depending on how things are. The ideal goal is that we recover $30,000 for the unit, but we may have to prepare to accept less.
What are our options, CAO Mitchell, if it doesn't sell? Like if, even as we go lower, it doesn't sell? Or is that just not something that normally happens? Like, do we have a system in place for such a thing, or?
No. Ideal case scenario, another fire department somewhere in Canada maybe will take it for a lower cost. We did invest some money into it, back in 2020, so we would like to recover some of those funds. So at this point, we're not looking at scrap value. We'd rather see it be used, because it does have some life yet left in it.
Okay.
Yeah.
I wasn't thinking of the scrap value, I was thinking of, you know, is it something that we can donate as a charity item for tax receipt if, you know, if we can't dispose of it for a normal price? Because if we can get a tax receipt, like even thinking of the Winnipeg Beach Historical Society, just as an example, right? Not saying that, I'm just,
Jeffrey,
in terms of examples, right?
fire truck?
We will give them space on the street. No, I'm kidding. Anyways, that was just something that I was kind of curious as to how we handle that if that happens. But thanks. I
Councillor
appreciate
Soccer.
that.
Mayor Philip, I have a follow-up question. So is it the starting bid at 30,000 or what is the value of it? The goal is minimum 30, but what is the assessed value? Do you know?
I don't have that information off the top
Like
of
where
my
that
head.
number came from? Is that what
Yeah, like
you're
the
interested
opening
in?
bid's 30, obviously, if we get more, fantastic,
Yeah,
but is that,
That's a good question, and
yeah,
do you know where it comes from?
the 30 is what we invested into the unit. It was slightly more, a few years ago, so that's why we're trying to get around about that amount to account for usage and depreciation. Yes.
Any other questions? Okay. Call to question. All in favor of accepting the resolution? Opposed? Carried? Agenda item 10.5, council proclamation requests. Be it resolved that council for the town of Winnipeg Beach hereby rescinds resolution number 2023/116 and will resume consideration and recognition of proclamation requests during council meetings effective immediately. Mover. Councillor McCann. Seconder. Councillor Soccer. Discussion. No discussion?
Nope.
Okay. Move to question. All in favor? Opposed? Carried. Resolution, agenda item 10.6, Métis flag raising. Whereas the town of Winnipeg Beach recognizes the significant history, culture, and contributions of the Métis people in Manitoba and Canada. And whereas the raising of the Métis flag provides an opportunity to demonstrate respect, recognition, and support for Métis heritage and community. Therefore, be it resolved that council for the town of Winnipeg Beach approves the raising of the Métis flag at the municipal office in recognition of the Métis people and their contributions to our community and province. Mover. Councillor McCann. Seconder. Councillor Trombinski. Discussion. Councillor
I'd
Campbell.
like to make an amendment to the resolution, that we discuss it further as to where the location could be for the raised flag. I also am very appreciative that this is happening with the resolution. I also want to let everyone know that our president, David Chartrand, has donated some flags to be given to the town of Winnipeg Beach when we find a good location to raise the flag. Also, I would like to add to the notes that we have to be very serious as to where we're going to raise this flag because of the diversity within our communities and so on and so forth. And it's with a great honor that I'm able to express this information to you. So I just want us to be more mindful of where we are going to locate the flag permanently because we are on the Red River Métis grounds.
Do we have to vote on amendment to the resolution?
If council is all in agreement, we can just, change the verbiage so that it states, council approves raising of the Métis flag at a location to be determined at a later date.
I also have one other thing to add to this, that when we do find the date and the time and the place, that we will be having some ministers come out to actually present the flag to the town of Winnipeg Beach, if it's agreed to by everyone. So I'm very happy and thank you all very much for this. Mayor Terry, I really appreciate, and you, Jody,
It's all of us.
and all of us here, that we are recognizing what the town of Winnipeg Beach is about and all the residents here. So I'm just very grateful. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Any further discussion or questions? Okay, call to question, all in favor?
I'll just pause for a
Sorry,
moment.
sorry.
Yeah, thank you. So just to confirm, if everyone's in agreement, we're amending the resolution to state, therefore be it resolved that council for the town of Winnipeg Beach approves the raising of the Métis flag at a location to be determined at a later date in recognition of the Métis people and that their contributions to our community and province. And be it further resolved that we will plan a flag raising ceremony with dignitaries welcome.
Yes,
That works for everyone.
thank you.
Okay. Call to question, all in favor? Opposed? Carried. Agenda item 10.7, MMA sponsorship request. Whereas the town of Winnipeg Beach has received a request for sponsorship, therefore be it resolved that the council for the town of Winnipeg Beach authorize the something sponsorship level in the amount of something to the Manitoba Municipal Administrators. Mover. Councillor McCann, seconder, Councillor Campbell. Discussion. And first discussion, I think, would be, who do we authorize? What goes in there? What sponsorship level is that, depending on how much we contribute?
Yes, we would fill in the blanks when council discusses what they would like to.
Could you tell us the different sponsorship levels that either are recommended or have been done in the past? Give us history on this if you can, please.
Sure.
Mitchell, thank you.
So this is a new sponsorship request. We have not requested this in previous year, or we have not donated in previous years. Given the newness of this request, I would, if council is interested, I would recommend just doing the Friends of the MMA benefit. It's $750. Typically, we have on budget, not typically, we budgeted this year $2,500 for miscellaneous sponsorships and donations. So far, we have spent $775 this year, so we have a remaining balance of $1,725, which is to last us to December 31st.
Question. Councillor Sokol.
I recognize that the MMA is a professional association and that relies on membership dues and sponsorships to deliver its programs. And I fully support our staff attending their events for professional development and provincial collaborations. However, my personal view is, as a new councillor, still assessing our overall budget and local community needs, I believe we should pause discretionary sponsorships this year. This ensures we can prioritize our limited discretionary funds directly towards local community support until we have a clearer picture of our local budget.
Thank you. Further discussion or questions? Councillor McCann?
For the Friends of the MMA benefit, the question I have is, does that include certain number of seats that we would have there? Because if we're, let's say if we're all going to this event, I'm not saying that we are, but what if we are? I know that with other conferences, we often have, if there's a sponsorship, there's a certain number of seats that get free. So in terms of the Friends of the MMA benefit, is there something in there where we get seats?
No,
Does that
there
make
is
sense?
not.
Okay.
In order to get a registration or a seat, we would have to move up to a higher
Okay.
package, which would be outside the budget.
No, I don't want to.
I have a question for you, C.A. Mitchell.
Yes.
Would our contribution or lack thereof affect any of your relationship with the MMA?
Great question. No, it would not.
Okay.
It would be more than understanding. And this could be something that council considers in future years' budgets if you're interested. It doesn't have to be this year.
Okay. Any other discussion or questions? So, I think I like Councillor Sokolow's suggestion. We'll forego it this year, see how our contributions and our donations, et cetera, work out, and perhaps we'll address it again next year. Does that sound reasonable to everybody? Okay. Any other discussion? Okay, call to question, all in favor of no contribution this year? And opposed? None? Carried? And I'll put in there $0. Agenda item 10.8, Village of Denauder support request. Whereas the Village of Denauder has experienced significant impacts resulting from severe weather and has submitted a request to the Government of Manitoba to open the Disaster Financial Assistance DFA program. And whereas the Disaster Financial Assistance Program provides financial support to municipalities, residents, businesses, farms, and organizations affected by natural disasters when damages exceed the capacity of local resources. And whereas the town of Winnipeg Beach recognizes the financial and operational challenges that natural disasters place on the municipalities and their residents. And whereas the town of Winnipeg Beach supports collaborative efforts among municipalities to advocate for provincial assistance when extraordinary events occur. Therefore, be it resolved that the Council of the Town of Winnipeg Beach hereby supports the Village of Denauder's request to the Honorable Wab Kinew, Premier of Manitoba, to open the Disaster Financial Assistance Program for eligible damages resulting from the recent severe weather event. Mover, Deputy Mayor Trombinski. Seconder, Councillor Campbell. Discussion.
Have we-
Deputy Mayor.
Written to the province as well?
We have not at this point. Pending this resolution, we will then submit something.
Okay. We are just supporting Denauder's request. Any further discussion, questions? Okay, call to question, all in favor? Opposed? Carried. Agenda item 10.9, bylaw 02-2024 review request. Be it hereby resolved that council directs administration to review the concerns raised in the correspondence, examine the current provisions of sidewalk patio bylaw number 02-2024, including the regulation of partition walls, dividers, screening structures, and associated height restrictions within licensed sidewalk patio areas, and prepare a report with recommendations for council's consideration at a future meeting. Mover, Councillor McCann. Seconder, Deputy Mayor Trombinski. Discussion.
Well, yeah,
Councillor Campbell.
I'm sorry. Oh, I would just like more explanation regarding
What this is about.
what this is about, please.
Okay. C.A. Mitchell. Thank you. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Thank
So
you.
our office received a formal letter to mayor and council requesting reconsideration on this bylaw. The specific concern was due to height restrictions, walls dividing structures. In our bylaw, as there is currently no legislation placing a maximum, there is a minimum, but no maximum.
Can you get into details exactly, or you don't want to?
This is considered, this is on the street, on the sidewalks, the buildings, or where? Like,
So-
this is what I mean.
This is in regards to our sidewalk patio bylaw.
Okay,
So our bylaw permits businesses along Main Street to take up a portion of our town sidewalk for use of their business.
This affects two businesses in the town right now.
Which,
Don't. Counselor, or sorry, CAO Mitchell, can you comment? Do you not wish to comment?
At this point, just due to
Privacy,
privacy issues.
then I think, I would like a table then to have more discussion on it, if you,
Well, that's the resolution, right? It says to
Yeah, so this
prepare a
is-
report.
okay,
And it likely, will this be,
I'm just asking the question,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, so if council would like, we can proceed with.
Councilor McCann first? Oh, Councilor Sokoloff first?
I just wanted to make my view on this. There's been a lot of change in our downtown businesses and increase in patio licenses. And the time that the bylaw was put in place, there were fewer businesses. And beautification efforts of businesses on our main street is appreciated. I feel like we need to also evolve as our town does, so I feel since there are more businesses now who have opened, we need to re-examine what is working and what is no longer serving the majority. And I feel that specifying a height may be a good option. However, I'm aware that we are in a busy time of year. And should council decide that they want to move forward with something like this, and there's time and cost to change in structures for businesses, that I recommend that it should be put in place after the season, like October, so it gives time for people to.
In my discussions with CAO Mitchell about this issue, she indicated to me that the contracts or the licenses, permits for the patios expire October 1st, and it wouldn't be reasonable at this point in time to change anything this year. We'll go forth next year and address this at a later date and then come up with a better plan. Any other discussion or comments?
I
Councilor
was just
McCann?
gonna say that, you know, when you think about on a private property, you're only allowed a 4-foot fence at the front, right? And I think it's more than reasonable to have height restrictions along our main street for the patios going forward, starting, I do agree that it's something we have to move on for next year, which is kind of unfortunate, but it is what it is, right? We're already late in the season, it's a cost to the businesses that are affected, et cetera. The other piece of that then we should also examine, when we go to examine height restrictions, I'd like to also be examining the patios in general and what we do with our main street come summertime and have something that we go forward with at the same time.
1 second, I'll address that again. CAO Mitchell and I've had that conversation as well, that we have to look at the bigger picture before we come up with this simple solution to one little problem. We have a bigger problem than that in terms of parking's being addressed, access to businesses being addressed. So absolutely, I agree with you on that. Councillor
I
Campbell?
just want to add, I think you're right, we have to have more discussions as to what, besides the restrictions, as to what's going on in these patios. We want to attract the people here, and some of the issues that were brought up was the patio in front of the hotel and what's going on in these places in and around the hotel, and with the
In terms
children,
of behavior,
the behavior, and I'll just say it, the drugs, and I'll say that some of the actions of some of the people are unhealthy, and our visitors see that, everybody visiting the boardwalk sees that, the people in the park see that, and other people's coming to town. So I think we need to really review this, revisit it, and find some solutions to stop some of these things, just besides putting up a wall or a 4-foot, whatever we're allowed. So this is a very serious matter, I think, because it's causing the town to be like, negative. you know, in some instances, and Winnipeg Beach is a beautiful town with the beach and everything, but if we're going to allow some of these unhealthy habits to go on, it's just going to deteriorate the town front.
We had that discussion
Yes.
earlier this evening with the local RCMP.
Yes, we did.
So that was a
Yes.
start. Do you have any other suggestions about how to go about doing this?
Well, when I had brought this up before, they said the owner of the hotel was spoken to, but some of the.
By whom? By the RCMP?
By former people, other people, by former, just people I talked to, so.
Okay.
And so I'm just really glad we're discussing this.
That's a privacy act.
Yes. That's right.
Yes.
So I think we really need to be serious about looking at the landscape now. And it's just not about licenses and whatever, it's about what we're promoting to the people and the community members of this town.
Councillor Socket?
Sorry. Based on discussions I'm hearing at the table, it sounds like we may want to include verbiage in this resolution to include a overall comprehensive breakdown of this bylaw, rather than just focus on specific areas,
Yes.
all encompassing essentially.
More clear and concise.
Councillor Socket?
That's kind of along the same lines, I just,
Okay.
because when I was reading what it is, we're kind of going up beyond that, so.
Deputy Mayor Trombitzky?
With this, do we have to get legal involved with this, or is this something that we can just come up with ourselves?
This is a significant project to undertake. I would recommend, yes, legal involvement, potentially consultant. Like, at this point, if council would like administration to review it, I would recommend passing this resolution. We would then go further and explore all aspects. And then once we have more data for council to discuss, we would bring that back to advise you.
Sounds reasonable to me. Further discussion? Comments? Okay. Call to question, all in favor? Opposed?
Tabling, right?
Sorry,
For tabling?
for tabling, yes.
For preparing a report with recommendations to bring to council at a future meeting. So we're, yeah.
Opposed? Carried. Agenda item 10.10, RCMP reports. Be it hereby resolved that council accept the following reports from the RCMP as presented. Winnipeg Beach Boardwalk Days Report, RCMP First Quarter Report Gimli Detachment, First Quarter Mayor's Report April 1st, 2026 to June 30th, 2026. Mover. Councillor Sokoluk. Seconder. Councillor Campbell. Discussion? Questions? Councillor McCann?
I just thought it was interesting seeing how high our break-ins are compared to other communities. The town of Arbor was 0, Black Cross Riverton 5, Armstrong 3, Matheson Island 0, Pine Dog 0. Town of Gimli 3, our M of Gimli 9, the town of Winnipeg Beach 19. So with that being so high, I mean, I know we were discussing this with the RCMP, but I'd like to table this actually for a future discussion on what we're gonna do about this. We need to have more discussion on, I don't think we can just accept the reports as they are. I think we also have to have an action item to actually look at this closer and do something about it.
Okay. Councillor Sokoluk?
So I can understand the process. Could it be two things where we accept the reports, but we know we want to make things better and safety is involved, or is that something we can just,
That's a good
like,
question.
Yeah.
Councillor McCann says, add to it, or what would you suggest?
What I would recommend is leaving this resolution as is. I can do a follow-up one to request further discussions with RCMP in regards to break-in enters.
Okay.
Councillor Campbell?
So, as you mentioned, we did talk to the RCMP earlier here. And they came up with some information for us and, but they made it a point to say that our residents should contact the RCMP, even if it's a small matter. And I think this is something that should be discussed or can be discussed for all the members. I don't know how we go about that now, for all the Winnipeg Beach residents. So they said, no matter how small it is, we must make a report to the RCMP. And they keep this all in there, and even if it's any item, anything that goes wrong, report it to the RCMP. I don't know how to detail it anymore, but I think this is something that's very serious that's going on here with the break-ins and everything. And I don't know if and when we're gonna have another discussion with them, but I think it'd be great to have a town hall presentation to our members here to tell you that no matter how small it is, it's important that we contact them, they said. And they make a report, they put it in a file, and the more calls they get, the more they look into it. So it was really interesting to hear them tonight.
CAO Mitchell, does what Councillor Campbell said make sense?
Yeah, absolutely.
Do you have any other recommendations?
So again, I can put that into the secondary resolution, which I've just drafted up.
Thank you.
I'll just read it after we get through this one.
Okay. Councillor Sokolow.
I just wanted to add, the RCMP officer had said to dial, which I thought was interesting, 911, even if it's not urgent. Because then that's how, a ticket gets created and then they can track things, so, I always thought the opposite, that if it's not
Yeah.
urgent, you do not call 911.
City of
so-
Winnipeg, don't bother us.
Yeah,
Phone
so
it, yeah,
that would
yeah.
be, that was interesting.
Councillor McCann.
Mayor Kaloff, I was just gonna say, in follow-up to what Christine's saying, I agree. I think most of us have grown up with the belief that 911 is strictly emergency, don't call for pizza.
Mm-hmm,
But overall, they're saying they triage it,
yes.
just like they do at the hospitals.
Yes.
And the bigger problem is we hear the discussions of things going on in the grocery store, when I'm out for my walks, community events, but we're not reporting them anywhere, cause I think people literally do not know who or where or why or how. And I agree with Linda, a town hall or something to get that information out, have the RCMP come to talk to the community. Something along that lines would be a good idea, but also putting out, if we can, on our town page, that this is what the RCMP discussed with us, to call 911 on everything, cause they can't have proper protocols, they can't have proper funding, they can't do a whole lot if they don't know what's happening, and so that's where we have to, as a community, get together and really push forward on this.
And if I can add, that people have the mindset that why bother phoning because they're gonna do nothing.
Yeah.
So if we get in the habit of doing that, phoning, and at least it's triage, it's in the records, it's in the data, then maybe we can either get more help from the RCMP, more involvement, so I agree. Councillor Sokolow.
One more just quick add, I'm not sure, if I'm able to communicate this or not, but the questions we had with the RCMP regarding what you had raised,
Yes.
is that something that could be added for, touching base, or how we can get that?
The actual, what we talked about,
Right, the
the,
program.
that
Once we
program.
Yeah, the
have further
program.
information
Yeah.
from the RCMP, then I'd recommend, but at this point, we need to focus on the report that is presented in front of council.
Okay. Any further discussion or questions? Okay, so we are going to,
So there's this one,
you're gonna,
and then I'll have another one that I'll.
okay, so go ahead with this one?
Yep.
Okay, okay, call to question, all in favor? Opposed? Carried.
And then I have a draft resolution following this one, that you do not have in front of you.
Correct.
Just give me one moment. Okay, so based on discussions, I've drafted a resolution to state be it resolved that council requests further discussion with the RCMP regarding break and enters in the town of Winnipeg Beach. And be it further resolved that council also request a public information session for the town.
We need a mover and seconder for this?
Yes,
Yes, we do. Mover, Councillor Campbell. Seconder, Deputy Mayor Trombinsky. Discussion. Call to question. All in favor? Opposed? Carried. Can't sign your computer, so you'll have to print it out for me.
we'll do that after.
Okay.
We're good. Okay.
Okay, next one. Are you ready for the next one?
Yep.
Agenda item 10.11, property damage related to snow clearing operations at 115 Spruce Avenue. Be it hereby resolved that council authorize the expenditure required to repair the fence located at 115 Spruce Avenue, which was damaged by the town's public works department during snow removal operations in the back lane. Mover, Councillor Sokoluk. Seconder, Councillor McCann. Discussion. Deputy Mayor Trombinsky.
Did our town people not, or was not notice that they had damaged the fence when they were clearing, or was it?
No. Due to the size of our back lanes and the significant snowfall events that we had this winter, there were none that were reported by staff. It can happen. It's a reality, but none were reported by staff.
And this is the only one that occurred the entire winter.
I believe there were a few other resolutions of council, earlier this year.
I have a question. Did the Public Works determine that that fence was indeed on or inside the property line of the resident?
At this point, we do not have the information. When we have the equipment to do the surveys, staff can. But based on the survey that the property owner provided, it appears to be on their property.
It does.
Yeah.
But in your opinion, you think we should wait for the actual proper survey done by our people to make sure that that's the case? Or would you recommend going ahead with this at this point?
Due to the expense, like the cost of the repair, it is very minor. And in fact, I've spoken with Public Works, and the crew may be able to repair it for less than what the contracted quote is, so it would be much, much less.
So that's
A
an
couple
option
$100.
that we can repair it. That's an
Yes.
option.
Yes, yeah.
Is the property owner aware of that?
Yes, the property owner has spoken with the Public Works
Have
Department.
they agreed to going that route?
That would be discussed, pending approval of this
Oh,
resolution.
okay.
But
And what would happen if the property owner turned down our offer of letting us try and repair it? What would happen then?
then it would be contracted by a contractor that the property owner will permit on their property.
And my only concern is that if it's indeed on their property and we damaged it, what's gonna prevent that from happening again this winter and in the future? So my recommendation would be if that's the case, if it's our fault, we're entirely responsible for that. Is there any way of notifying the operator of the equipment that when they start to plow that lane, they start at the beginning, right at that property, because there would not be a big buildup in the bucket of the front end loader I assume they use, and there would be no windrow created right there. If they started plowing at the other end from Grove towards the lake, that's the last one on that lane, and of course the damage would be significant. Is that a reasonable request to have the operator be informed that at that address, please start plowing from east to west down that lane instead of from west to east. Is that reasonable?
So we have begun exploring options of changing equipment to better suit the small back lanes that we have, because it would be very hard for operators to adjust every single back lane that they go down. Very often we get, well, can't you wing it this way? There's nobody there, and not that way, and oh, next place, there's somebody there, so don't wing it that way, wing it that way. We're in the process right now of gathering data on a different snowplow. It was included in the 2026 budget, so that is something that we can move on, if that is something council wants to explore.
Councillor Sokolow.
I'm sorry, I have a lot to say on this one.
Okay.
I really, like the municipality acknowledges, obviously it's role in the damage to the fence and the significant inconvenience to the homeowner regarding back parking. And before you had said what you did, that changes potentially this. So if the Public Works is able to fix the fence at a reduced cost, that sounds great. And if not, then I feel we have to balance like a timely resolution with our duty to taxpayers. So I feel more information and action are required before approving the specific quote. And I would propose, if the Public Works is not an option, basically, for the immediate inconvenience, we can explore a temporary manual workaround so the gates, so the owners can access the garage and parking area now rather than waiting, so they're not more inconvenienced. But I also feel competitive pricing based on the quote. I would like to see 2 competing local quotes, because that would verify local markets and eliminate potential out-of-town costs. And also, I noticed in the quotes, there are extra charges if posts are needing recess, etc. And I feel that that should be a separate from the repair, as we should pay for the direct proven operational damage. And then also, and I'm sorry, to something, so depreciation and prorating. I know that, you know, it's a 15-year-old fence, so I feel that obviously Public Works fixed it at a reduced cost, and I think that could be a good solution. But otherwise, I feel that, you know, standard fences have a lifespan of 20 to 25 years, and perhaps we could look at prorating to reflect its age, and then the encroachment on the boundary just to validate whether that is the case. But it may be completely moot if everything works out there, but I just had those thoughts that I wanted to share just to see if that.
Councillor McCann.
That's one of the things I was gonna bring up as well. You know, if you're dealing with an insurance company, they're gonna prorate your fence, your roof, et cetera. I know, because I've had to deal with that before, according to how many years it's been since it's been replaced as well. So I agree that prorating, I think we have to maybe take a broader stroke with that, and if the Public Works can fix it at a less expensive cost, absolutely. And I do also agree that if we're the ones footing that bill, we need to have 2 quotes from people who are local, not someone from the city. You know, in there, I noticed travel expenses, like they're charging to come up here. And there are people right here who can do the work in this city, in our town. So I think we should have, if we have to do it, and Public Works can't do it, I think we need to have those quotes. Insurance companies make you get 3 quotes. Insurance companies don't let you have a brand new fence if your fence is 15 years old.
I comment on, go ahead.
Go ahead.
So to speak on that, in regards to proration, there is no policy in place for that. There is no formula in place for that. It would be very hard to justify why they should pay X percentage or X dollar compared to the next person, just because there is no legislation in place. We would have a hard time enforcing that. What we can do is, like under our procurement policy, this meets the threshold of less than, of 1 quote. It hasn't reached the threshold of 3 quotes, which is why we've only done the 1. based on what the property owner has, directed. In order to like expedite this and prevent it from getting delayed to another council meeting and further on, I would recommend council put in a clause for a maximum expenditure amount. So best case scenario, Public Works does it and it's cheapest.
Yeah.
Alternatively, we can seek alternative quotes, and go for best price. And then again, not to exceed whatever council determines as a maximum. I would say if you were looking for a number, I would recommend 5,000. I know it's higher than than the quote we have right now. Reason being is that is one of our deductibles for insurance. If it starts getting above that, then we put it in insurance hands.
My comment on that, I don't know if any of you actually looked at the fence. Did you go and look
Yes.
at it, Councillor?
I saw
Sokolow?
pictures.
I didn't see much damage to wood. I think the damage is the hardware. And I think most of that is going to be the labor. They're driving out, as you said, from Charleswood, so, I'd say let's let, Public Works give it a shot. We've got some really good workers there and they MacGyver it. I think they'll do it for a lot less than the quote, that was given by the company in Winnipeg, so I recommend we go ahead. Let Public Works look at it, see what they can do, and then we go along with what.
And I also appreciate that everybody's time, it costs as well for investigation and all that stuff too, so I appreciate that.
So I recommend we go along with CAO Mitchell's recommendation.
And then did we wanna put at a cost not to exceed $5,000
If that's
or
what you.
2,000?
2,000.
Yeah, I recommend 2,000.
Sure.
Councillor Campbell, you look
Well, I
perturbed.
was just wondering if it should be a little bit more than 2,000.
Did you have a look at the damage?
Just the picture.
The picture? Yeah, because I didn't take a picture of any of the hardware. It was
No.
just- And it's, all I saw was the fence was out of alignment
Yeah.
because the hardware had been basically ripped out of the wood. So if they can reseat new hardware in there, I think that's gonna solve the problem.
Okay.
But again, it's going to be an ongoing problem if that fence is indeed on or behind their property line.
Yeah, well, that's
So
what I
that,
was
and
thinking
then,
about.
and then, the CAO Mitchell said we can look at the plowing procedure for how it's done and what it's done with for the upcoming winter.
Maybe we can get a more detailed assessment
Yeah,
and then?
Yeah.
Okay,
let's have Public Works do it, look at it, and see what they suggest.
okay, yeah,
Do we all concur with that?
yes.
Any other comments or discussions or questions?
Just on a side note, just curious, the other properties that had been damaged because of the plows, what did the previous, how was that resolved?
Just give me one moment. I believe it was at a cost not to exceed $3,000. And then it was contracted out by the contractor of the property owner's choice. Yeah, that's how it was resolved previously.
And how many properties?
That I would have to get back to you on.
Thank you.
Any further discussion? Okay. Call to question, all in favor of the adjusted resolution? Do we want to read it again or not necessary?
Just give me 1 minute.
Okay,
Okay, so at the end of the resolution, I added at a cost not to exceed $3,000 and be it further resolved that, council request, an assessment of town snow clearing operations. Yeah, and council, these are all things that as you continue in your journey as elected officials, and, you know, getting to speak with department heads, these are all things that, you know, they'll start filling in the pieces of how operations is and all of that, and you'll have an opportunity to go through this snow clearing protocol, because snow clearing is a big operation for our community, and I think we have one of the best response times for snow clearing. Not to toot our own horn.
No, I
Yeah.
agree with that.
And I want to reinforce that we cannot go talk to town employees without consulting with CAO Mitchell first. Correct?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Councillor Sokoloff, of course.
Did we not say 2,000 was the maximum? I heard 3, is that right?
2.
It was 2? Okay.
The previous one was 3,000, I think, the one you questioned about.
Yeah.
Is that
Okay, I
correct?
thought we were sharing rather. I heard 3, just wanted to make sure.
It was 2 and then I asked for 3. So what is it?
I had 2 in the resolution.
Okay,
2.
We're good with 2?
I think so. I don't.
The quote was under 2, so.
it was under 2?
By, not by much, but yeah.
Yeah.
But it also has.
It was like here
Be
under
on the
2.
safe side.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
don't know how much you did.
I personally can't see it being that much money if our guys do it ourselves. Not even close, but we'll see what happens.
Okay,
Let's roll those dice. Call to question, all in favor? Opposed? Carried? Agenda item 10.12, Evergreen Basic Needs Letter of Support. Be it hereby resolved that council authorize the mayor and chief administrative officer to provide a letter of support on behalf of the town of Winnipeg Beach in support of Evergreen Basic Needs grant applications for the proposed food bank expansion project. Be it further resolved that this support does not represent financial commitment or project approval by the town. I'll read that last line again. Be it further resolved that this support does not represent financial commitment or project approval by the town. Mover, please. Deputy Mayor Trombinski. Seconder, Councillor Sokoloff. Discussion. Councillor
I need
Campbell.
more information as to what this means. Yeah, letter of support and there's money involved in here and all that, so I need more clarification.
Councillor
If I may?
Sorry, Deputy Mayor Trombinski.
They're looking to expand their site.
In Gimli.
3,000 foot expansion.
And this is just us supporting it? Is that all it is? Of just, we support you in doing
It's,
this?
yeah, they
That's all
can
it is?
sort of access some grants, that it's a need that's in the community,
Mhm.
so
And how does the beach, Winnipeg Beach, benefit from this if it's in Gimli?
well, they do a lot for Winnipeg Beach. A lot of our people go there.
To know that.
I just wanna know more, that's
Yeah, of
all.
course,
I
of
want more
course.
explanation as
Of
to,
course,
so how much money, is there amount of money given to Gimli?
from us,
Yeah,
for this.
anything,
Not yet,
not yet.
no.
Yeah.
In the past, was there money given?
Yes, we have not yet decided the grants for organizations, but we have previously contributed a portion to Evergreen Basic Needs.
And what's that amount, the portion?
Last year, we provided $7,500.
Okay, 7,000,
So
okay.
this resolution is to provide a letter, so that they can take that letter and use it to apply for grants
Okay,
for their organization. We're not giving them any money for this project. It's just to say that, yes, we agree this is a need for our community, and we hope you can get further funding for it.
I'm just a little confused as to what happened in the past, so that's why I want explanations. So this is a letter of support so they can apply for grants
For a project.
for a project. What's the project?
Expanding building,
Extending the building.
Yeah.
And how does Winnipeg Beach residents benefit from this? That's what I'm asking.
because I'm,
Do you not want to comment?
it will be a positive be a positive.
We can table it if
Yeah.
you want some explanation
Or-
later, or,
I can
okay.
explain later.
That's what I would like. I would like explanation as to, I understand letters of support,
Okay.
but I want to see where the people of Winnipeg Beach are benefiting from that, because it is in Gimli.
That would be talking about our actual contribution if we make.
Okay,
I have a comment to help clarify.
Yes.
So in 2025, 469 hampers were provided to Winnipeg Beach and 54 Christmas hampers. So Winnipeg Beach utilizes the food bank portion quite a bit.
Yeah.
And over the last 5 years, there's quite a few hampers that have been done, and so they provide a lot of support to our community.
okay, the reason I'm asking is, I heard about the hampers and that money was given to Gimli. Okay, and then I asked the question, why were the hampers not created here, because we have a food connection here? That's what I was asking. The ins and outs and yeses and nos about it, because I don't know about some of this stuff being new. So that's what I'm asking. So we're giving money to Gimli, the Gimli's providing hampers back to us here to people that need it in the community. I just wanted to know why there was a roundabout circle going on about the transfers of funds and so on and so forth. When, that's why I'm asking. So, and I understand there's needs, and like, I think the food connection is great and everything else. But with the amount of food that's donated to the food connection that I learned more about, then why aren't the hampers done here so we don't have to give money to another community? That's why I'm asking.
Okay, I think we should.
You know what I mean.
Yeah, we know what you mean. I think it's time to move on to the question. Any other questions? Any discussion? Okay. Call to question. All in favor? Opposed? Carried. Did you oppose?
No.
Okay, I got
My
it.
hand
When you
up.
put I put
Okay, you did one problem.
just a little pen sticking out, I can't quite see. A little higher next time, okay?
Yes.
Thank you. It's just confusing for me. Agenda item 11.1, dance therapy program. Whereas Tammy Caslin has requested use of the Winnipeg Beach Community Center to provide free dance therapy classes for participants aged 10 and up as part of her Master of Social Work practicum requirements. And whereas the proposed program will be provided at no cost to participants and is intended to promote mental, physical, and social well-being within the community. Therefore, be it resolved that Council for the Town of Winnipeg Beach approve the use of the Winnipeg Beach Community Center for the proposed dance therapy program and waive the applicable rental fee subject to facility availability and the completion of all required rental, liability, and participant documentation. Mover, please. Councilor McCann. Seconder, Deputy Mayor Trombinski. Discussion, please. Councilor McCann.
I love this. I wonder if there's any way to have a conversation with her about doing something like this, almost on a more permanent level when she's done her studies. Just a thought for the future.
CAO Mitchell, could you comment on that question if we could have further discussions with her?
You know, if we're doing this for you, will you do this for us?
I'm sure we can have that conversation if it hasn't already happened.
Right, yeah. I just think it's amazing.
It seems like a no-brainer. This is good for us, it's good for her, win-win.
One of the things we've discussed, sorry,
that's okay.
Councillor Sockla. One of the things we've discussed, as a team as well is our rec center and how we move forward with mental health and helping to teach our youth, you know, financial literacy, things about the computers and safety and cooking and things like that, the life skills that we want to implement. And then listening to the RCMP earlier discuss the mental health issues, et cetera, being a huge issue that is not really being addressed in any community. I think something like this really stands out for me at this moment in time, so.
Agreed? Any further? Councillor Sockla?
Yeah, I just have some comments. So I just want to make sure I'm understanding it properly. So the request is for 3 to 4, 1.5 to 2 hour slots per week for the entire year. So that's a long period of time, and the reason I'm bringing that up is that from what I was reading in the report from the recreation, that they're almost maxed in their time slots for the community center. So we may,
For ice time.
no, well, I could be wrong, I thought it was for programming too, like for, but maybe I'm mistaken. So I just wanted to make sure that
Let's get that rectified, that's
that we
important.
find out that this is possible, because we don't know yet
Yeah.
what time slot is preferred,
Yeah,
et cetera. Also, bear with me for a moment here. I know that, I guess I'm thinking from a risk standpoint, there was some, mention about having, forms filled out that they have, their master MSW person that's a part of it. I feel like we should always do our due diligence. So just to make it simple though, I feel that we should ask for the U of M practicum confirmation letter. So that's our backup that this is obviously a student, legitimate, to make sure that we're trying to play our full circle.
All above board.
It's just,
Okay.
and it's something that already is, should have, so
Yeah.
it's not. And I also feel that the supervisor contact details, which, was somewhat provided too, and proof of insurance and signing off on a standard waiver, just so I feel like our T's are crossed and.
CEO Mitchell, would you confirm that all those good things to consider? Important
Absolutely.
things, okay.
So in speaking with the recreation manager, they will be able to accommodate this session.
Great.
If the paperwork has not already been submitted to confirm the practicum, we will absolutely have that on file. In regards to liability, it would fall within our liability because it's a general operation. It would fall under our umbrella because we're taking it as our event. And with that, we'll ensure that all the liability forms are signed off on prior to any program happening.
Why would we want to take on, just for my education, why would we want to take on the liability when the U of M has that ability, or is there not?
We can definitely see if the U of M will cover through their program.
She said, or that was in the letter, so that's what
Yeah,
I'm
that's
saying,
in
why
the
would we
letter.
want to take that on?
Oh, perfect, then yeah, then we wouldn't worry about that, sorry.
Good point, thank you. Will this interfere with the hockey, the ice surface, or it has nothing to do with the ice surface?
No,
So
it
it'd
will
be
not
on the,
impact.
in the lobby area.
Yeah, we'll make accommodations that does not impact ice rentals.
Any further questions or discussion? Call to question, all in favor? Opposed? Carried. We're getting there, slowly but surely.
It's a big agenda.
It is. It is. Agenda item 12.7, committee reports approval. Be it resolved that council accept the committee reports as presented. Okay, mover. Councillor McCann, seconder. Councillor Campbell, discussion. Councillor McCann.
So Mayor Calof, I noticed in the Public Works Utility Report, this little section said we are continuing to have storm sewer failures.
Mhm,
All we can do for the moment is patch them up so we don't have holes in our downtown streets.
mhm.
The resolution to the storm sewer issue is a budget discussion. I'm
It's a
gonna say
big
this-
budget
big
discussion.
budget discussion, so I'm gonna
CEO
actually probably
Mitchell.
move that over, yeah, to
Yes,
CAO Mitchell.
CEO Mitchell, all yours.
Yes,
Urban
so,
storm system, storm sewer failures.
yeah, so this year we've seen, more than usual, that we've been patching as we can. But we all know that the age of the infrastructure is at the end of its service life. It has been for quite some time. The amount that we have budgeted this year will not suffice any repair other than just patches. We've only budgeted, I believe, 10,000 for storm sewers. Which when we talk about replacing storm sewers, we're excavating, we're removing, and we're replacing everything above it. So sidewalk, curbs, all of that sits above the storm sewer.
Is this like what happened on Hamilton last year?
Correct,
The same sort of excavation process? And
correct.
it's required now down, would you say down Main Street?
Until we have a proper feasibility
Mhm.
study of what the state of the storm sewer is,
Mhm.
there's no way I can determine where, but if I had to guess, probably the entire downtown.
The entire downtown?
That being said, it will probably be a very, very big ticket amount. So again, this is where we're gonna have further discussions about, A, getting the data of where the worst spots are. If we're gonna phase in repairs, what that looks like, or if we're just gonna bite the bullet and go all in. But again, conversations will have to be had because it'll impact business operations, it'll impact the tourist season. There's a lot of further discussion, it's just to acknowledge it in this report that this is something that needs to be talked about.
So when do we discuss a big budget issue like that?
There'll be further meetings with the department head
Okay.
on what needs to happen, and then as we near the end of this year, we'll start having meetings with council about what the priorities for budget are. There's a lot of demands in our community,
Yeah.
so where council wants to place those demands on the priority list.
Councilor Campbell?
So I would just like to know, once all the meetings and everything and the feasibility studies and all this, when is does this affect anything else regarding the residents in the town? And the costing and everything, increase to anything, and when will they be aware of this? Do you have a town hall meeting for this or anything later on?
Again, it'll be decided by council,
Okay.
how council wants to approach this situation. We do have our financial plan public hearing, where we
Right.
let the community know how much we're spending, what the mill rate's gonna be, if there's gonna be borrowing, like the fire trucks. If that's coming down the line, our 5-year capital expenditure plan of, are we gonna be doing it 2030, is it gonna be 2035? We have those meetings, and then typically when it comes to big projects, when we have our annual town hall meeting, which unfortunately we didn't have this year, we usually talk about those big projects, if they're coming, when they're coming, what they can expect. But at this point, it's just a conversation.
Councilor Sokol?
When is the typical annual town hall meeting?
July. We usually have it in July. Again, date to be set by council, but that's usually when we
Usually.
have it, to encompass majority of our tax base.
Further discussion? Questions? No? Call to question? All in favor? Opposed? Carried. Roundtable discussions, council committee and board reports. Council committee and board reports.
This is the portion of the meeting where council has the opportunity to talk about initiatives that they're working on or that they're hearing in the community, or boards that they sit on, that information that the public might be interested in learning. That's when you would share or just touch base about what's going on.
Councilor Kemp?
Sorry.
What happened to 12.2 and all?
Yeah. We just went through.
Yeah, you just jumped over. I know everybody would
That's all.
appreciate it if we did.
We just finished
I went
12.1.
from 12.7.
No, we were on 12.1.
Yeah, we finished
Oh.
12.1.
Okay.
We're on 12.2.
I don't have a 12.
Learning
You don't have a
opportunities.
12.2.
I don't have a 12.
Yeah, so, when it comes to committee reports, we break it down in separate numbers so that all the reports are broken out separately. But we just have one resolution to approve it, which was the one that, Mayor Keeloff had said.
Oh, so it's approving all of them?
Correct,
No.
yes.
Ah, okay.
Finish discussing something.
Sorry.
We already passed that
Yeah, I get that.
resolution.
Did you
Can we
wanna,
readdress it?
No, it's okay.
if council wants to?
Is there a need to
I
readdress
just
it?
wanna see if there's anything I put in here, so that will.
Okay, check it out. That's hers. Otherwise,
Nothing.
does protocol allow us to readdress something that we already just passed? What's the procedure?
In keeping with time management, I
If
would
we
say
are on,
let's.
if we are on
let's
the round
move-
table, we can bring up a couple.
There we go,
We're
go.
good.
Yeah,
We're good.
yeah, thank you.
We're all good. Just joking.
Are we okay to go forward?
Yes, yeah.
Yeah, yeah, so round table.
So we're on roundtable. Anything else on the roundtable? Yes, yes, Councilor McCann.
I did want to say, really nice job to Diane and team. I think that particular report was great. What are the renovations that are happening at our recreation center?
So right now, we have our planned renovations, which is our flooring upstairs, is being redone as a part of our Revitalize and Reconnect project.
Okay.
They are working on doing the puckboard along the ice surface right now. And the score clock is coming, that is still delayed. Other renovations that are happening as a result of the June heavy rains event is our basement is now getting repaired because it flooded during that. So everything got ripped out and is being replaced as well through our insurance claim.
Just curious. Thank you.
Yeah, a lot going on.
Any other items? Okay, resolution 13.2, council committee and board reports approval. Mover, please. Councilor Sokoluk, seconder, Deputy Mayor Trombinsky. Discussion, please. Council committee and board reports as presented.
So this is the one resolution that we talk about everything before, during the roundtable. And then this is more or less just the following the process through and passing the resolution.
Any discussion? Okay, call to question, all in favor? Opposed? Carried? (14.1) Accept correspondence. Be it hereby resolved that the correspondence be accepted as circulated. Mover, please. Councilor McCann, seconder, Deputy Mayor Trombinsky. Discussion. Councilor McCann.
So, looking at the micro-age monthly summary, what is that about? Like, I read through it, but I'm not sure I understand what it's all about.
So that is information on what security measures our IT company is doing for our organization.
Okay. Yeah.
Just to give you some idea, the stuff that you see behind that you don't always see that happens, so.
No, perfect, I wasn't sure, but now that you say that, now the language in it makes sense, so thank you.
Any other questions or discussion? Okay, call to question, all in favor? Opposed? Carried? (15.1) In camera. Be it hereby resolved, the council moves in camera at
8:02 PM.
to discuss matters that are in the preliminary stages and personnel matters. And be it further resolved that any matters discussed while in camera be held confidential until such time as discussed in open council. Mover, Deputy Mayor Trombinsky, seconder, Councilor Sokoluk. Discussion. Call to question. All in favor? Opposed? Carried. I'm going to have to ask the audience to leave, unfortunately.
And they're all jumping.
Meeting, thank you very much, council.
Appreciate it. Thank you for your interest and attendance, and we look forward to seeing you
Yeah, no kidding, yeah, it's like a computer, yeah, makes sense. If it's 12, then I'm stretch myself. Deputy Mayor Kim. Which I never thought about. Yeah, and then as soon as she said technology, I went, oh, that's why I don't understand the language in that result. Great. Makes sense. All of the good adjectives. I feel good too. Yeah, I think okay, I'm gonna show you, I noticed that. Okay, go to your emails, my dear. Good. Congratulations. Yes. Congratulations, I think that's the right move because of the financial background, I think that's super important. And you're here. And you're here, yep. You got your heart beating on it too. Okay.
Sean Binsky, I love the sound of that.
I do too. So much.
Sorry, I botched it up a couple times. Just it's gonna take a little bit of practice.
You go here, and this is your credentials. Yeah. Okay, so, you know your credentials. Oh, that's a lot.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is, write that down.
I botched it in the just about procedure, I mean, practice once, so
You have to have that information. Yeah.
I wasn't really good there.
She did that. And then you look here. Then the one below, here's your link. You save it in your favorites. Oh, which you did.
Does anybody want a Vitafiber one bar? It has a bit of sugar in there.
I'm good.
I'm good. Yeah, I do.
I use my sugar.
Oh, you can eat it. Yeah. Okay,
I
so
brought
now. Then you go to your regular meeting. Yeah. Okay. Here's your regular meeting, so like, let's just say you go to call to order. Oh, no, grab it and all. Well, that matters, confirmation.
Russ wants to get a blood one.
I know it's practice, but so you have to walk. I thought so too. We moved along pretty well. Yeah.
Hey,
You've never done that before.
Christine, where's the notes on hers? So find the notes on hers.
Look into it. There's still audio on this.
What do you mean the note? Is she logged in? Yeah.
Why is there
She's
still
logged in, so
audio?
she goes to say confirmation of minutes.
There we go.
I have to walk my dog if you wanna come.
We are on. Visual is currently frozen, but we are
Audio's on.
audio is on, yes.
Is there something?
All right. Sounds good. Let me, where was I at? Let me borrow your other resolution. Take that one. And just put the numbers in. Okay. You guys wanna get started? We're good.
Okay. Agenda item number 15.2, out of camera. Be it hereby resolved, the council moves out of camera at
9:28 PM.
9:28 PM and resumes the regular meeting of council. Moved by Deputy Mayor Trombinski, seconded by Councillor Campbell. Discussion? None. All in favor? Opposed? Carried. We do this right now?
Yep.
Okay. Agenda item, 15.3, 2026 municipal grants. Be it hereby resolved that the following grant allocation be approved as follows. Evergreen Basic Needs, $7,000. Evergreen Festival of the Arts, $300. West Shore Community Foundation, $1,000. Madeline's Closet, $1,500. Winnipeg Beach Historical Society, $800. First Family and Youth Regional Support Team, $3,000. Mover, please. Deputy Mayor Trombinski, seconder, Councillor Campbell. Discussion? All in favor? Opposed? Carried.
And then we'll bring back up agenda item 10.11, the property damage related to snow clearing operations. Just give me a minute. There we go. We're gonna, would somebody like to make a motion to bring that one back up?
Deputy Mayor Trombinski, motion.
Okay, and a seconder?
Councillor McCann.
Okay. And we're just going to amend and add a final clause, and that private works operations be permitted for this repair. Okay. That's good.
We have to vote on that?
Yeah, so I'll read the resolution entirely, just so council has the full, motion.
Okay.
Be it hereby resolved that council authorize the expenditure required to repair the fence located at 115 Spruce Avenue, which was damaged by the town's public works department during snow removal operations in the back lane at a cost not to exceed $2,000. And be it further resolved that council requests an assessment of town snow clearing operations and that private works operations be permitted for this repair.
Okay. Mover?
We already got that one,
Okay,
so
you don't
just call the question.
Okay.
Thank you.
All in favor? Opposed? Carried.
Okay, thank you very much for that.
So this one gets thrown out then? We don't need that one?
No, it's fine. I'll put it in there.
And what's next, just adjournment?
Yep.
Okay. Agenda item number 16, adjournment. Be it hereby resolved, the council adjourns the August 12th, 2026 inaugural meeting at
9:31.
PM. Mover? Councilor Campbell. Seconder? Deputy Mayor Krasinski. Discussion?